Moonfall, a brand new disaster film directed by Roland Emmerich. The film stars Patrick Wilson, Halle Berry, John Bradley, Charlie Plummer, and Michael Pena. And in this film, a mysterious force knocks the moon from its orbit, sending it directly to Earth on a collision course. So NASA executive and director Halle Berry recruits her former friend and former astronaut, Brian Harper, played by Patrick Wilson, and Casey Houseman, played by John Bradley, who is an up-and-coming scientist, to go to space and see what's up with the moon to save Earth. The film is 2 hours long and is PG-13. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here at Max Talks Movies. We're talking Moonfall. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ring the bell. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, streaming platform reviews, movie rankings, box office breakdown shows. So please subscribe and ring the bell. Also, please comment down below your thoughts on this film. Where is it stacked for you? Is this your favorite, least favorite disaster films that you've seen in your lifetime? Why did you see the movie in theaters? And please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel the best way. So let's start talking Moonfall. So I was not that excited whatsoever from seeing this movie. I saw Jackass Forever last night. Both these films going with each other, try to get the #1 spot at the box office, which we'll break down on Monday. But this film has a lot more pressure on it to perform well. This film has a budget of like $140 million. And Roland Emmerich, for me, has been a director who has just really struggled since his classic Independence Day. This is a director who just criticized Marvel and the MCU for how they're ruining cinema. That's how he has kind of been in the headlines as of late. He directed Midway, another terrible film that came out a couple years ago, Independence Day Resurgence, the sequel, White House Down, 2012. So 1998's Godzilla. So this is just not a great director other than really directing the first Independence Day. And this has a solid enough cast. Patrick Wilson is a really good actor. I'm a huge fan of him, and Halle Berry is honestly as well. Both of these actors do a solid job. So let's go positives, then my negatives, then my score out of 5 stars. So the biggest positive I have to say is that without having these likable characters, I think there are a lot more holes would be able to poke in, and maybe you not enjoy the movie as much as you do without the big three actually being really enjoyable actors that have good chemistry with each other. As I said earlier, Patrick Wilson is one of my most underrated actors working today. I've talked about how much I love the Conjuring trilogy with him being involved. One of my favorite horror characters of the last 20 years. Insidious and Watchmen and Aquaman. And he'll be getting a chance to direct his own movie, Insidious 5. But seeing him, he was also in Midway. So again, reunites with Roland Emmerich. Halle Berry is another actor who, again, I really like. I know she gets sometimes a bad rap, but I think Halle Berry is a really good actor, given especially the right material. But she's, again, a really good actor who, again, is extremely likable. And John Bradley, who's kind of like the humor of the movie, obviously from Game of Thrones fame, who's also going to be in Marry Me, which comes out next week. He is like the humor of the film. The three of them have good chemistry with each other and are solid and likable actors, because these are some of the most cliche characters you'll see in a movie all year long. But Patrick Wilson and Halle Berry have a kind of a friendship breakup in the beginning of the movie, which sets them apart, and them reuniting is a pretty big deal. Patrick Wilson's really good in the movie, and again, the three of them together, even though the movie at times can be bad with the three of them at the same time, at least it's watchable bad when the three of them are on screen together. Now, as I said earlier, the film also has a budget of like $140 million. And you can see that in a positive way. The actual CGI of the moon, space, some of the extraterrestrial sci-fi-like stuff that happens in the film looks really good. You're not really questioning the CGI being bad. That would have made this a whole other level of bad. The CGI is actually really good in the movie. There's some really unique designs with the aliens, not the aliens, but the design of what the moon is. I don't know why I said aliens. There's no aliens in the movie, but going through that, the CGI was really good in the film. The spacecraft, again, space, the moon, Earth, all of them looked really good. And the main actors are likable actors. That's kind of where the positive stop. This is a really bad movie that I think easily could have been a lot worse. As I said, if these were not likable actors and the CGI was awful. If those two things were not on, this could have been one of the worst disaster movies of all time. Now, it definitely does not go into that territory, but it doesn't go into nearly the best because this is a really bad movie from start to finish. Now, I knew based off the trailers it would be this bad, but it is a unintentionally hilarious bad movie that at one point has 3 different plot lines going on at the same time. And I couldn't believe there were that many subplots going on in this film because, as I said earlier, there is a big 3 that are going into space to avoid the moon crashing into the Earth. And that's Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, and John Boyega. But there's 2 other subplots. There is one subplot where Halle Berry's ex-husband, who's a general in the army, is also trying to prevent the U.S. government for blowing up the moon for a particular reason. So we're watching him trying to sway the U.S. government. And then you have Patrick Wilson's son, who's played by Charlie Plummer, as well as Patrick Wilson's ex-wife, Halle Berry's son, and foreign exchange student are all on another subplot trying to stay alive and make it to the bunker where Halle Berry's ex-husband is waiting. This is all happening at the same, this is cutting back and forth from Halle Berry's ex-husband to from Patrick Wilson's kid and his ex-wife and Michael Pena and Halle Berry's son and the foreign exchange student, and then going back to space. I could not believe there was so many subplots in this film because even though the 1A subplot was already bad enough, it got 10 times worse with Sonny Harper, who's played by Charlie Plummer. Really, there's some really bad performances in this movie. Shockingly, Michael Pena just gets a paycheck in this film, as well as Donald Sutherland, who I didn't even mention. He's also in the film for one scene. There are so many really bad performances, and it comes with the 2 other subplots. The actors that are the likable ones, they're doing the best they can with the material. These other actors are giving truly awful performances. And as I said, this movie throws away all logic. I mean, this film wants to be so scientific and at times serious that it makes no sense. Everything that happens, and they do a huge exposition, like dump in the 3rd act about what's actually going on. The movie makes absolutely no sense from start to finish. And there's also a car chase in the film that felt like even more ridiculous than a Fast and Furious car chase. There's a time where a tree falls on a character and doesn't kill them, even though they got thrown off a place, landed, and a tree fell on them, and they were not injured at all. I mean, these characters were superheroes at some points in the movie. And they were just explained by gravity. I mean, it is a really awful film. This is one of the worst scripts I've seen. There are so many dumb one-liners that try to be humorous. A kid says that New Jersey sucks as a one-liner. There's a lot of really bad one-liners that my whole theater was unintentionally laughing at. And I was probably much unintentionally laughing throughout the entire film, which is not what Roland Emmerich wanted you to do with this film. So even though there's a likable trio and the CGI is good, other than that, this movie is an absolute train wreck that also possibly set up a sequel, which I 100% believe this film will not be able to get based off the box office and the budget. I don't know how this film's going to make its money, I'll break it down this Monday on the box office breakdown show. So I'm going to give Moonfall a 1 out of 5 stars, a 24%. I'm going to go down to 22% for Moonfall. This is a really terrible movie that I was thinking about going a half star, but I'm going to stay at the 1. Actually, I'll go back to 24%. 24% is a good number for me. So 24 for Moonfall. Let me know your thoughts of the film if you've seen it in the comment section down below. Tell me if you saw this film or Jackass this upcoming weekend. Like the video, subscribe, comment. More videos are coming down the line, and I'll see you guys soon.